Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next stop on our virtual bus tour series. I'm Audrey with United Way of the Black Hills, here today with Volunteers of America. I'm here with Tara Wilcox and Kelly Folsom, and I want to share some of the great resources that they are offering right now at Volunteers of America, and specifically how their funds through the United We Stand COVID Relief Fund is assisting our community. So Volunteers of America received a $10,000 grant through the United We Stand Fund, and we're here today to just share some of those success stories and how they're helping the community. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Tara and Kelly, and I leave it up to either of you guys, whoever wants to go first, in sharing what some of those stories have looked like and everything going on.
Well, we're really excited to do that because ironically, COVID hit about the same time that we were considering a new realm of service that we had noted was needed. And that was for housing assistance and temporary or transitional housing while people were awaiting permanent placement. And it just so happened that COVID created the need more quickly than we had anticipated. And that's where United Way really stepped in and helped us to arise to the occasion and to meet that need. The exciting part about that is some of the individuals were then connected with our case management services. And from there, we were able to create long-term solutions for them. So we've had about 14 new households and families utilizing our case management services as a result of the temporary hotel-motel placement. And of those, 4 individuals have already been successfully and permanently housed. So it has been a short-term solution, but it's also been a bridge to a long-term solution for those families.
That's right, Tara. And we just can't say enough about the United Way funds and able to help us meet those needs going forward, because it's really hard to anticipate what those needs are as we stand today.
Yes, and I mean, that is so great to hear that there are people that are being placed now. That was one thing that was mentioned on their application, that we were just so excited to hear that there is somebody that is assisting the homeless population and getting those hotel vouchers and finding permanent and temporary housing. So thank you guys so much. Those are just really great resources to have during this time. And I know that you had also mentioned some of the ways you're helping out veterans in your application. Would you mind elaborating on that as well?
Yes, we'd love to. So for several years now, we've had a veteran outreach center, which is basically a day center for veterans that can come in and do their laundry, take a shower, get a hot cup of coffee, use the computer to check their email, or just kind of get some camaraderie with their friends. And so we see about 150 individuals a week come in and out of our Veteran Outreach Center. But recently, we've also been able to add case management for veterans. And so then we could be a part of, again, a long-term solution for some of them. And we have been able to assist a number of individuals there, actually with housing assistance on top of the case management. And those veterans, actually 2 of the 4 that I mentioned to you were veterans who were permanently placed. So it's been, we've seen it become a safe place for veterans to come because they don't always have the shelter-in-place capacity or access to the appropriate hygiene items. We've been able to educate them on what they need to do during COVID response to be proactive and preventative to keep themselves safe. So it's been like right now, they're faithfully wearing their masks. If I were to walk through there, there's about 8 gentlemen in there. They're using their hand sanitizer frequently. So I think it's given us an opportunity to educate, but also to connect there as well. And the housing assistance has helped us to overcome a few barriers that kept us from really making a meaningful impact in some of their lives. Of course, being there day to day is a huge impact, but you also want to make a lasting impact.
Another thing that we offer as well is we have the housing assistance and the case management, but we also have 3 different types of food boxes available: individual, family, and non-cooking food boxes. That's really made a difference, and I think in our veteran population that we see day to day. So there's a lot of things. It just makes sense to have a housing assistance program here at Volunteers of America, and we're so thankful for United Way in helping us bridge some gaps with bridge housing and getting people where they need to go in order to be successful.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful resources. And then my other one I wanted to talk about was Mommy's Closet. Kind of wanted to hear what you guys have in terms of resources for the community, just for anybody who may not be quite familiar.
Absolutely. We have emergency resources for young families. So that's diapers, that's formula, that's wipes, and the food boxes on top of that. We have one version that's a family style food box that can feed 4. And what we have done is, even though we don't have a separate entrance like we have in the past, we are still distributing diapers out of our front entrance so we can do the appropriate screening that's needed. And then we are providing a month's worth of our weekly limits that we typically provide, whereas before people could come in once a week. Now we're just providing them 4 weeks worth so they don't have to increase their community traffic and potential for exposure. So we have, I would say, seen probably about a 30% increase in diapers need. And in food boxes, we're close to about a 50% increase, probably about a 40 to 45% during the period of COVID. In addition, with Mommy's Closet, we have a number of partners that we try to assist that they can actually distribute diapers to their clientele in need as well. And we've been recently able to help each of the 3 tribal areas with diaper stock as well as a couple other organizations that, like Bright Start and other partners who have clients through their front doors. So it's not just at Mommy's Closet that we're able to make an impact with diaper need. And as many of you know, diapers aren't easily accessible right now at the grocery store, nor are wipes. So we've also had to pull upon some of our corporate partners here locally who have been willing to be vendors who have access to that inventory. So just a real compliment to our community for stepping up, because it's not just what VOA is doing, it's not just what United Way is doing, it's what we can all do when we all fit a little piece of that puzzle. And our corporate community has also stepped up.
I want to tell you a story about a mom of 3. She's been working for several months with just different agencies. We started learning about her through Pennington County Health and Human Services because she went there for housing assistance. It was determined that VOA would be the best fit for her based on her needs for her small children. Through that process, we were able to get her connected with Coordinated Entry, which offers a wraparound services. So she's connected with several agencies, and she was one of the ones that we were able to stably house. She has not had housing in quite some time, and now her and her 3 littles have a place to call home, all because United Way helped and stepped in and made those funds available. So thank you.
Wow.
On that same note, navigating the social services system is hard for an individual. Where do I go for what? And that's one of the things that has only increased with COVID, because we have a lot of resources, but people don't know how to navigate and know where to go for those. So that's one thing. We've also been partnering and collaborating with Pennington County Health and Human Services, with Salvation Army, with all these other entities, at Community Health Center of the Black Hills, so that we are all on the same page with what everybody else is doing, and then we can refer people appropriately to be the most efficient with the resources we've been given from donors and foundations. That collaboration will be a lasting impact that will be far impactful past COVID, but it's been one of those beneficial side effects of COVID in our social services system.
Yes, Tara, very good point there. I mean, it's just so cool to see all the different collaborative efforts that have come out of this. You know, it is trying to see that positive in everything that's going on right now. And that's most certainly one of them, is just seeing everybody work together. And some of those names you mentioned, like Salvation Army and the Black Hills Community Health Center, you know, there's just so many great partnerships happening right now and really addressing not just the current needs, but also those needs that are going to continue on, because just from hearing what is going on in some of these collaborative leadership meetings, there's definitely that what is going to happen 6 months to a year from now, and being prepared for that. And organizations like Volunteers of America and foundations and just the community in general is doing a really phenomenal job of staying on top of that, communicating and determining what those needs will be. So I want to thank you guys for joining today. And I want to remind everybody that our COVID-19 Relief Fund we are still giving out donations for grants. So if you would like to make a donation, you can go to our website at www.unitedwaybblackhills.org. To date, we have funded 18 organizations, and in the amount of about $135,000. Again, 100% of the donations we receive through this fund goes directly to those organizations like Volunteers of America who apply for funding. And it's most certainly being prepared. We're seeing what those needs are going to look like 4 to 6 months from now to a year. And there is uncertainty, but one thing we do know for sure is we need to be prepared for what some of those effects are going to be. So again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and thank you, Tara and Kelly.
Thank you, United Way.